Season 0 of Axie Origin is approaching us, and if you want to give it your best, you're gonna need the best runes and charms. And Philip Lahr has just dropped some news that are very relevant to runes and charms for the next season. Now, they have reviewed the community feedback around disenchanting and will be moving forward with the feature. Now, if you don't know what the feature is, if you have runes and charms collected right now in the off season from the last season, you will be able to disenchant them in the next season. What does that mean? You can get a head start when it comes to MOONSHARDS when you disenchant at the start of the next season, meaning that you're gonna have a little bit more crafting opportunities before other people do that. So if you are one of those people that likes grinding and you want to grind as many MOONSHARDS as you can in the off season, those efforts will move forward towards the next season. There will be many different opinions, so ultimately I expect not everyone will be satisfied with the direction. However, as always, we will test, learn and iterate over time. Now, I voiced my opinion on that issue. I don't think that grinders should be rewarded toward the next season. I think every season should be a fresh start. There shouldn't be features that carry over from the last season, as it will give unfair advantage. If someone crafts a mystic or an epic rune at the start, they can get a very head start when it comes to victory stars, and they will not be catchable for other people. I mean, that depends on the length of the season, but I think every new season should have that feeling of being actually new, and everyone has to figure it out rather than having something carry over. I will share some of our thinking here, not just around disenchantment specifically, but around progression across season as a whole. Disenchantment is an important mechanic that allows runes and charms to have sustained utility after each season expires, and it allows players who spend tons of time, resources, or effort to get them to still gain value from them after they expire and are no longer usable. And that is an okay approach, but I think that doesn't apply in any other game, right? I can't think of a game where something from the previous seasons carries on and you have an advantage in the next season. We understand that there are advantages for players that can gain season from disenchanting to start off with more MOONSHARDS. A key component of the game to consider is not just direct crafting and battling though, but trading in the marketplace, which will play a major role. So trading runes and charms, which again, people that can craft those runes will have an advantage of the marketplace because they can control it if they craft the runes first. Given the holistic system and over time in an entire season, we do not foresee disenchanting to be a deciding factor in the leaderboard. That could be true if the season is long enough and if the people that start of the season with MOONSHARDS already don't have that big of an advantage. That depends on the percentage of disenchantment that you get. If it's still the same percentage, it could be an issue. However, we will still monitor closely. We also have the ability to tune the disenchant MOONSHARDS amounts over time. Any disenchant advantages should not be compounding across season either, due to the rate being relatively low and players still needing to go through the crafting process, which has randomness built in it. In terms of current game decision, Origin ultimately will not be completely even for anyone joining at any time. There is progression that happens across season, and it may take a new player some time to progress before they can compete for leaderboard top spots. Now, this is the thing that I don't really understand. If you look at any other game out there, CSGO, League of Legends, whatever that might be, Dota, you get to a level 30 is usually the level, or whatever level it is needed to play a ranked game, and since you achieve that level, everything within the game is fair play. You get to that level, you can play a ranked game, and you can get to the top of the leaderboard. Of course, those places are not paid in other games, so that might change a little bit, but once you are inside of the game, it's fair game. Whereas in Origin, it looks like the approach is, if you grind a lot, if you spend a lot of resources, then you will be in an advanced position to get those leaderboard spots. This needs to be balanced, of course, to not be overwhelming, but for players, for example, as players upgrade their Axie body parts in the future, and older player who has the upgraded parts will have some advantage or more choices over a new player who has not upgraded any parts yet. This does not take away from the fun, excitement, and progression of the game though. New players may still be able to compete with those who have upgraded parts if they are good, and eventually will get those parts themselves over time. Top games like Clash have system like this, and maybe at 2,000 trophies in Clash Royale, and the top player might be at 7,000, which would be very difficult to reach, but I would still love to play and reach high leaderboards. That's okay for the leaderboard, I understand that, but they also have the tournament system where everything is set at base level, right? So the maximum level is 13 in Clash Royale, I believe. but when you jump into tournaments, everything is fair play. So when it comes to leaderboards, it could be a decent approach that grinders do get that advantage. I might be in the wrong here. Let me guys know in the comment section what do you think about that. I think that grinders depends on how big the advantage is. If it's small, if it's negligible, you get like a day or two a head start, and it's okay. Axie Infinity needs to be exciting to play, no matter where you are on the climbing the leaderboards. As more players join in, it won't be realistic for everyone to reach top leaderboards position. Does balance properly, progression across seasons should not take away from the game. One caveat is, of course, esports and tournaments will normalize it so that it is an even playing field for all competitors, and this is a normal practice within the games industry as well as for gamers with this type of model. Based on how the upcoming season go, the data and your feedback will make changes and adjustments accordingly over time as well. So this is not set in stone. Excited for us to start season 0 and see how all the mechanics play out. So if you guys want to have a little bit of a head start with this news, what you want to do is jump into the game and start grinding those moonshards and then craft the best runes that you can. So epic and mystic. Use those blue and use those purple potions, as they will guarantee you the best chance to get those runes. That's if you have time, right? And that way you can get yourself some good runes for the next season, disenchant them at the start and start crafting all over again, and you have a higher chance of hitting a better rune in the next season because you will have more crafting opportunities. So that's going to be it for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comment section down below what do you think about these changes, whether it's good, whether it's not good, and I will see you in the next one.